up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. First off, I want to say I apologize for not uploading yesterday. Sometimes we just don't have time of the day, and yesterday was one of them. But we are here at Elite Finish. We're gonna get a little checkup on the Huracan today because they've done some work on polishing the car and it looks pretty good. So let's go inside and check it out. So I saw some comments in the last video that I kind of want to address a little bit. There were a lot of people saying it's been to Meguiar's for paint correction, it's been to SOS for paint correction. Why are you guys doing to do more paint correction while we're at Elite Finish? So let me explain really quick. It was supposed to get a paint correction and wet sand at Meguiar's, but due to the time restraints, we didn't have time. So all we did before SEMA was just a buff. So the car looked good, but it wasn't 100% perfect. Then it came back, then it went to SOS, and they tried to pretty much do majority of the wet sand work before coming to Elite Finish. But SOS isn't a detail shop. They are a body shop and a paint shop. So before we PPF it, I really wanted Elite Finish to kind of go over the car with a fine comb and really perfect everything, because this is what they specialize in. This is what Wes knows better than anything. So they're gonna do a better job than anyone can. So that's why we're gonna do it all over again, or just add on to what SOS did, and then we're gonna PPF it. So here's an example of the rear quarter panel that Wes is actually doing today, which is why I wanted to bring you guys to show you this stuff, because this is a big reason as to why we're doing PPF. You can see there's a bunch of scratches, and it's actually kind of hazy on this rear quarter, and this is just after a week after SEMA. It just doesn't look good. So Wes is gonna fix all that, and then once the car is perfect, then the PPF will go on top of that, and then those scratches, those haziness, that will never exist in the paint because the PPF is gonna protect it. That's more or less kind of right. Yeah, I'm not an expert on this, but you are.
What I'm gonna go through here is I'm gonna use some Meguiar's, just their 3000. So they have a really nice sandpaper that we use all the time here that has like basically a foam layer to it. If you feel it, it really feels super soft actually.
It feels very soft.
This gives a really even sanding haze, which makes it very easy to remove those sanding scratches. So the texture of your paint is phenomenal. It's super flat. SOS did a phenomenal job after painting to block sand everything out and get this paint looking like glass. So I don't need to use aggressive sandpaper at this point to take down any texture. At this point, we're just safely removing some of the deeper scratches that are still there from, like you said, from just life over the last, the car's been moving around and things are going on. So this is just gonna take those out, and then we're gonna paint correct. We've got we use these a lot in our shop, the Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad, the DMC5. I like the 5-inch backing plates for paint correction because they get a little more focused work. So we're gonna get through those steps, get it all final polished, and we'll be moving on to PPF after that. You gotta come check this out, TJ. Voila.
Damn. Wow. Yeah, I can't even see anything.
So we use the Meguiar's 3000 grit sandpaper, then we compounded out the scratch marks from the sandpaper, and then final polish.
That's crazy. See, and then you PPF it, and then you have this perfect pristine paint for life. That's like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get in, baby.
That's gnarly. In a world of expensive colognes and oversized bottles, there is now a solution called Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance monthly subscription that allows you to shop from over 600 different brands and pick out miniature-sized bottles that last you 30 days so you can figure out which cologne or fragrance you like the best. Instead of paying full price for a bottle, Scentbird allows you to figure out what you like before having to invest in the actual bottle. And it's a monthly subscription service, so it keeps recurring every month, all for a fraction of the price. The fragrances come in these little carrying cases, which are awesome because you can literally put them in your backpack, in your car, or just leave them at home. The 4 I chose was Mercedes Sign, Bentley's Azure, Hugo Boss Infinite, and I actually picked out something new that I actually don't even know how to pronounce, but it smells really good. Every scent also comes with one of these cards that kind of describes what the scent is like, so you can figure out what you like versus what you don't like. This is a great opportunity for you to shop around and see what fragrances you like for yourself, or you can head over to the website and look at the most popular fragrances out there, and you can give it as a gift for the holidays. Shop designer fragrances for fractions of the price. Use my code TJHunt3 to save 30% off, or just click the links down below in the description. Thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it. So we finally got the S14 back from paint. If you guys didn't catch the videos, Calvin and I stripped and cleaned the whole entire engine bay because we decided we wanted to go full send and we wanted to get the engine bay cleaned up. So we took it down to Torrey Pines Collision and they did a phenomenal job. I think it looks really, really good. I'm really happy that we went forward and actually decided to paint this because when the motor's sitting in there, dude, this bay is gonna look super, super clean. And all things considered, because we left the cylinder and we left a few bits and stuff, they did a really good job painting around everything. And they actually went all the way down to the frame rails, which is phenomenal. They said they found a lot of rust, like a lot of rust, which is not a good thing. The main areas, besides this battery tray, there's obviously a lot of patchwork here, but keep in mind the fuse box sits here and then also the battery tray will sit here. So that will all pretty much be covered, but it's really awesome that they fixed that for us. And they found a lot of rust when they took the windshield off. Tons of rust. They did a bunch of patchwork and it looks really good, all things considered. So super excited that this is here and the time has come. We're gonna be showing you guys the motor today, obviously by the title and thumbnail. And it wasn't really too much of a secret. We gave kind of a hint when we were at SEMA when I was talking with LZ and Jimmy Oaks about it. I know we have 8,000 horsepower JZ just sitting, waiting to be used, but I didn't want to put that power plant in this. I've been saying from the beginning, I want this to be like a super OEM plus style build. Like I want this thing to be true to what the 240 is. So we have an SR20 blacktop notch. So this is from an S14 from Japan. Has the notch top, which is like the sought after. SR20s, man, in the last couple years have become so difficult to find. It's kind of like all the other Japanese motors, JZs, RB, SR, which is another reason why I wanted to do the SR, because we have the RB, we have the JZ, I wanted to get the SR in there. These are just hard to come by. So I want to get a big, massive thank you and shout out to JD California. Big shout out to David. This was actually trans and motor that he was keeping for his personal collection. This motor right here has less than 15,000 US miles. That is extremely low miles for an SR. I don't want to say unheard of, but this thing was taken out of 240 and just was sat and was stored in Japan and it came over here and now it's ours. So we're gonna have probably one of the lowest mile SRs imported from Japan that I've ever heard of in our S14. So Calvin and I today are gonna start by taking apart the transmission, put the motor on an engine stand, start stripping off all of the wiring harness and all the sensors, and let's start cleaning this thing up. I'm gonna start taking off the harness.
Oh, we should number them.
Yes. Pro tip. I think that's not even a pro tip. It's something that everyone just does, but I don't know. Calvin and I started numbering. I think Mickey taught you that. Full tool of the trade when taking the stuff apart, because when you're working on this, when it's in the car, having all of your bolts numbered when it's around the clock of a transmission is super helpful, because remember, not all bolts are the same size and all the same length. So when it's numbered underneath the car and you're trying to figure it out, having them numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Super big tip. Like that, brother. Cool. Dude, this thing looks clean.
Yeah.
What the heck, dude?
I told you, literally every bolt is new. Cause
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm 100% sure, because OEM doesn't put nickel nitride, I think that's what it is, nickel nitride bolts on these things. This is a brand new clutch.
Yeah, well, dude, look at the inside of this.
I'm saying,
Holy crap.
I think since this is David's personal motor, JD California, David cleaned it. Look, these are brand new too.
Look how clean that is. Like normally this is like disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll have to call him and ask.
David changed all the bolts, 100%. Literally every single bolt.
Brand seal, so the clutch has to come off anyway.
You want to call David and ask him if he did that already?
All right, let's settle this mystery.
This is his.
I'm gonna call David.
Yeah, call David. I'm gonna eat my sandwich.
Hello?
What's going on, David?
Hey, TJ.
Hey, so we're finally getting into the SR20 right now. How many miles were on this thing?
That one at least about 30K.
Does it have new hardware on it?
No, it didn't, no.
The not nickel, but like the nickel nitride hardware, that's all factory?
All factory, yeah.
What about the clutch? Do you know anything? Does it have a new clutch in it or?
No, I didn't open that, no.
Dude, it looks pristine.
I know, yeah.
Like, we are looking at the inside of the clutch, or the inside of the
Yeah.
transmission, and just do that alone. There's like, there's nothing in it. It looks brand new. Because even the throwout bearing looks brand new. So I was like, maybe someone like replaced it before you got it or something?
No, this car was sitting for like over like 15 years or so. So it never ran.
So did it sit in the car, or did it sit like outside of the car?
No, in the car, so it was just sitting.
Wow. Okay. We were just super excited. So we were looking at it, and I'm like, maybe you replaced some of the stuff on it. So I just wanted to call and ask. All right. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. We're getting into it right now, so you should see all the stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure, no problem, man.
Awesome. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.
Okay, bye. He said that this car was sitting in Japan in an S14 for 15 years. So just that's why everything looks so brand new. So none of this stuff has been replaced. All of the hardware, Calvin thinks that it was replaced, but David confirmed that no, that's how it came from factory. So really cool. We don't know too much about SR20s. I mean, we did one on Calvin's car 2 years ago, and Mickey helped out, but I wasn't really a part of that process. So this is a really big learning not learning curve, but this is like a learning process for me. So you guys are going with this. You guys are going through this process, learning with me at the same time. So cool. All right. Dude, I almost feel bad swapping clutches. This thing is pristine. I'd be really curious to look at the actual pressure plate when we take it off and see how much wear is on there. Oh, ooh. Oh, that tells us a little more. Oh, she was definitely driven. Look at this. I wonder, all of that right here is all like aggressive clutch engagements. So no, she was definitely driven. And if it hasn't been driven for 15 years, this was like driven like this hard in like, what, 2005? That's a lot. Pretty aggressive. I don't really... Look at the pressure plate.
Completely new.
No, dude, all these scuff marks?
Oh, someone was clutch kicking.
Someone was clutch kicking the out of it. You should see the flywheel.
Oh, good thing we're changing it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it was like an old drift car, like that was driving like 15 years ago, back in like 2005, and then he crashed it and then just put it away, and then sold it at auction.
Oh, you know they skid in the mountains. Right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was like the OG skid car. That's my point. I'm just like, I wonder what the story is.
That's kinda
You
awesome.
should see the
15 years?
The flywheel's like.
I'll come look at it. I'll come look at it.
You should come look at this. What's that?
Whoever was driving this was having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never seen that. This is what the back of the motor looks like without the flywheel. Like, that looks. Wow. Oh my, dude, it just gets better and better. It's like, at this point, do you even replace the rear main seal? Obviously we will, we have it, but that's incredible. That's so cool. There's only just a little bit of sludge at the bottom. That's it, nothing else. Damn, okay, let's get this thing up on the motor stand and start taking apart the harness. Go look at the back.
What? That's impossible.
How?
That's impossible. I could lick that.
Fresh. Yeah, get yourself a Calvin that's updated. Sometimes you can get an old firmware Calvin. You don't want that Calvin.
What does that even mean?
It means.
What does that even mean, Kobe Bryant?
You can't say that. He's dead.
What does that even mean? This one has a lot of... I'm gonna punch it. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna punch it. Here it comes. I'm excited. I haven't done this in fucking years. So we're gonna take it all apart. We're gonna take off all the manifold bits and the exhaust bits, like all of the everything. We want to scrub it down, make it look nice. I'm gonna take a wire brush to the intake manifold because we're keeping the stock one, and make it pristine. The valve cover is gonna go off to paint. We won't do that until like the end, or if TJ's a chotch. And we're just gonna bring this motor back. Well, it's already looks good, but we'll bring it back to life. It hasn't ran in 20 years, so I'm excited. I hope it turns on.
All right, let's take off the
Wiring harness.
wiring harness, dog. Let's get into it.
Obviously.
Sweet, I'm excited. Are you? This is the first time we've done like a full bit rebuild. Not first time, sorry. First time in a while. Who's sleeping on us?
You say something.
Dad. Hey, Mick, come check this out.
You can't say you're doing a full rebuild unless you're
It's
actually
not-
doing a full
it's
rebuild.
not I meant like on the car.
You got to remember these motor swaps was like super popular 15, 20 years ago.
I guess that's
and
true.
so they were all very clean like this back then.
So imagine.
to find one today this clean is probably a lot more difficult.
I guess that is true. Imagine doing this 15 years ago when they're not haven't been sitting for 15. Makes a fair
Dude,
point.
the one that's in Courtney's car I bought for I think $400. Yeah, SRs. I mean, we never.
$400?
Yeah.
4 bones.
And yeah, and it was imported from Japan for Kumakobo's drift car that was being used in D1. He never used his spare engine, so instead of shipping it back to Japan, he just
Oh, you
sold
told me
it.
that.
Yeah. So now SRs are kind of
6K minimum.
yeah, they're hard to get. A lot of people don't like them, honestly, because
They can't hold power.
they
Well-
can hold power if they're built properly, but people would
That
rather
and
spend that money on an
JZ
RV or a
or
JZ
something,
or a V8. So I like that you're putting this in because it's cool because it's like a plug and play, pretty much.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
All right, here it goes.
I'm gonna berserk
You want
this
to
off.
hang this and then.
No, I have to. You have to break the hose. You know, like it's kind of. I hope there's a blood vessel bursting through my forehead. Ready?
Oh god.
Oh god!
Oh.
It is on there. I am twisting my gloves off. You know how to use that thing. You know how to wind? There it is. Oh, doctor!
That was rough.
Just gotta stick a little fingy in there and flick out the
Oh,
brown
yeah,
stuff,
dude.
you know?
Flick it out, dog. We have reached our stopping point for today. Calvin and I, we took off the intake manifold, we took off the exhaust manifold. We're gonna really focus tomorrow on cleaning up this whole entire motor. We want this thing to look as new as possible. We're definitely not going to like the full extent of like replacing all the hardware with brand new zinc coated hardware and all that fun stuff, which a lot of people do. I really want to focus on getting this thing in the car because I'm really excited to drive it. I know there's gonna be parts that I have forgotten to order. I know I'm still waiting on some stuff for the third pedal conversion for the manual swap. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff for this motor is out of stock. There's a laundry list of things that I'm waiting to hear that are in stock that still has to ship to us. So we're gonna be like kind of picking our way at this as parts come in. We have a bunch of stuff in the back, but all like the super, the super random stuff like the master slave, clutch pedal, new oil pan, just valve gaskets, valve cover gaskets, stuff like that. It's just really, really back ordered. This motor's in great condition. I want to say a big thank you and shout out to JDM in California. They have been sourcing us motors for like years now, and they never fail on us. If there are any parts or If there are any OEM parts or motors or anything that you are looking for that is car specific, definitely check out JDM California. They have everything, and if you call them, you can ask when the next time they're gonna get something is. They're the guys, and they will take care of you. Just tell them that I sent you their way. Well, there you have it. The SR20 is revealed. Super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. The build series are coming back, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, and keep moving forward.
Huh? My car still says fatty. Someone actually at the gas station saw the fatty chotch and walked up to me. He's like, "I know you because of the fatty chotch on the back of my car."
Calvin's a little fatty. He's got that boo thing. Cause Calvin's got the fatty. Calvin's got the fatty.
Gotta listen to some funk. He's such a judge. Look at him.
He's hard to impress.
Be proud of me, Dad.
Oh, is that what? No, I've never seen one this clean. and this is very impressive, son.
Yeah. That we'll use that one. We'll use that reaction. We were just really impressed with how clean it was.